Welcome to Into the Heart. Uh, in our last video, we discussed criticism and its companion, complaint, which is the first of what is commonly referred to in relationship literature as the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And I'm not going to repeat what we talked about in the last video. You can go and watch it. But I had some further reflections on it, and I wanted to share those with you. Hopefully, this is valuable to you. So let's begin. Sometimes, if we're in the habit of nagging or criticizing or complaining, attacking the character of our loved one, there's reasons we do that. And there's even habits we've formed that fuel that. And so I just want to name some of these things because the more we are aware of what drives our habits and our behaviors, the more likely we will be able to shift these. And I say we because we are all prone to these things. And we are each personally responsible for our own thought habits and how we use our words and what we do and how we treat others. We're personally responsible for that. So let's identify some of these things. One, sometimes we forget our own love story. We forget how we began, what we fell in love with our loved one. And two, we can replace that with a really negative storyline or narrative, and we can rehearse a lot of negativity about our spouse or our relationship to the point that we can even script this negative relationship. We can even have the habit of overlooking the ways that our loved one is loving us or is showing care for us. And we can become fixed on occasions where they're not fulfilling our expectations or our desires, whether or not we've expressed them, rather than looking for how they are loving us, how they are seeking to please us. And finally, we can get in a habit of assuming the worst or of not giving the benefit of the doubt. We can negatively assess our loved one's intentions or their thoughts or their words or their actions. And all of these habits are extremely dangerous and destructive to the relationship that we would actually want. So what's the cure? What's the correction? Well, one, we need to practice recalling what we fell in love with. And not just in our thoughts, but speak, acknowledge when we see it or even when we're not seeing it. To speak in the present tense, I always appreciated and I appreciate such and such quality about you. I've always loved that. We speak it in the present tense because we want it in the present. We don't want it just in the past. Regardless of your religious disposition or affiliation, most of you will recognize these words. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," and so it was. ... Then God said, let there be a dome in the middle of the waters, etc., etc. And so it happened. Then he said, let the water under the sky, etc., etc. And so it happened. Then God said, let the lights be the dome, and blah, blah, blah. And so it happened. And so forth goes the text. Why would I refer to this? Because like God, you're not God, but like God, your words and your thought habits have power. And they even have creative power. Your words have creative power. And so we have to be really careful in how we use our words. We need to make sure that we are rehearsing, and we might need to redraft the script and rehearse the script of the relationship and the qualities we want rather than those that we don't want. So thirdly, what you say is probably what you're going to get, and what you see is what you're going to get. Because what you acknowledge, you call forth, and what you look for, you just might get more of, or at least you're going to be more aware of it. So We need to resist the temptation to tally up and complain about what we don't want. We need to build the habit of looking for and acknowledging and expressing even gratitude and appreciation for the things that we do want. We need to speak into being the dream relationship that our hearts yearn for, rather than rehearsing the nightmare that we might think we're in, so that you get more of what you want. And it's your choice, it's my choice, it's our choice. Finally, to really work on the habit of assuming the best and giving the benefit of the doubt. Your loved one will not only feel more respected, they'll probably also feel more rightly seen and appreciated and understood and valued. And that will prime the pump of your relationship in all kinds of good ways. And they will want to live up to this high regard with which you speak of them. Who doesn't want to live up to the high regard with which they are held by others? We can do ourselves a favor and work on these wonderful and beautiful and fruitful habits, recalling the past and what we loved about our spouse and still love about them, redrafting any negativity that we've worked into the script so that we rehearse the relationship we want, to look for it, to acknowledge it, to speak it, and to give people the benefit of the doubt. Thanks for joining today. Hopefully these reflections could be helpful to you, maybe even inspiring. And please do like and subscribe to the channel so that this content gets out to more people. I look forward to seeing you again in future videos.